Finfine News Network, and I am your host, Sibel. In breaking news today, the OLA that controls the North West Shawa Zone is reported to have destroyed 15 of the existing 16 government military convoys in Korkosa, located in the Adea Berga district. This is a developing story, and we have not yet received additional details on the number of casualties suffered by both sides. Meanwhile, the Guma Basi Tula Sorro Brigade OLA, operating in the Western Guji zone, reported an attack on enemy troops that were conducting a search operation for OLA on January 11th. The OLA also reported capturing over 9 enemy combatants with their weapons on the same day. In news on Oromo political prisoners, the Ada Standard reports that senior OLF leader, Colonel Gamachu Ayana, his court hearing resumed on Monday along with 4 other defendants. Gamachu has remained jailed and was at one time disappeared by police to an unknown location despite his acquittal of all terrorism charges more than 6 months ago. And since then, the progress of his case has been delayed multiple times throughout the last year. According to another report from the Standard, he appeared in court alone in late November because his defense team was not notified of the date when there would be a hearing in the court. His next appearance in court right now is scheduled for January 27th. And this comes after Prime Minister Abiy released several political prisoners on Friday, including Gamachu's fellow Oromo Federalist Congress members Jawar Mohammed and Bekele Gerba, as previously reported here on FNN. When all 3 leaders were jailed, Jawar Mohammed and Bekele Gerba went on hunger strike to protest the inhumane conditions of Gamachu's imprisonment. Meanwhile, the OFC has released a statement in response to the release of those leaders from imprisonment. We'll put that up here. The statement calling for a peaceful and negotiated agreement between all sides of the continued conflict going on in Oromia. And it also stresses that Abiy's decision to charge the prisoners originally came in the run-up to the general elections in an attempt to expunge the OFC from the political arena. That, according to this statement shown here. Here's a direct quote. "It's also not lost on our jailers that we committed no offense and were held unlawfully on bogus charges designed to increase the ruling party's election fortunes." In light of the fact that the jailed OFC members were originally arrested in the aftermath of the murder of Oromo musician and political activist Hachalu Hundessa, it also calls for a thorough and credible investigation into Hachalu's murder. Here's another quote addressing that point. "Marred with political interference and cover-ups, the justice system has failed to provide a believable account of what happened the night that Hachalu was assassinated, let alone prosecute the perpetrators. We therefore call for the establishment of an independent investigative body to uncover the truth." Moving on to news on the Tigray region. 21 people have been killed in 2 more airstrikes in that region in the last 2 days. In the first airstrike on Monday, it hit a flour mill in the town of Mai Tsebri, and 17 workers were killed, as well as 16 donkeys. This according to a humanitarian aid worker on the scene. This unknown anonymous worker told The Guardian, quote, "A witness told me that the drones came and hovered a bit before dropping bombs. Then people panicked, but after some minutes, everyone heard huge shouting and they went to the scene to see that women and donkeys died." So that was an account given by the humanitarian aid worker. And a day later on Tuesday came another airstrike. that hit the town of Tiwane, which is located just south of the capital Mekelle, and killed an additional 2 people. We'll show now a short clip that was captured by the Turkish broadcaster 24 TV. This clip shows the aftermath of the airstrike Monday that hit the flour mill in Maitsebri.
Ordu Etiyopya'da ayrılıkçı Tigray bölgesinde milislere yönelik hava saldırısı düzenledi. Bir kasabaya düzenlenen saldırıda en az 17 sivil hayatını kaybetti. Ölenlerin çoğu kadındı. Ayrıca onlarca kişi yaralandı. Olayı bölgedeki yardım çalışanları duyurdu. Ordu ve ayrılıkçı milisler arasında 14 aydır silahlı mücadele var. Sivillerin öldüğü benzer saldırıların haberleri daha önce de gelmişti. Hükümet bu iddiaları reddediyor.
So there's a short clip of the aftermath of that airstrike that killed 17 people, 17 workers at a flour mill in Maitsebri of the Tigray region. The government, of course, has not responded to multiple requests for comment on this new airstrike. However, it has been addressed by the World Health Organization chief, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who is in fact Tigrayan himself. And he made a comment to this incident via Twitter. We'll put up his tweet here. He says he's deeply concerned about reports of another drone strike in Tigray, resulting in injuries and death of too many civilians. I echo Secretary General Antonio Guterres' call for an end to the conflict in Ethiopia and for humanitarian aid to be urgently allowed in. And that last was referring to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' call for a cessation of hostilities, which came in reaction to another even deadlier airstrike on Friday that struck a humanitarian aid camp, killing up to 59 people. Different reports giving numbers like 57 and 58 also, which I covered here in my last FNN statement. And Guterres also said that the UN is planning to mobilize emergency assistance for Tigrayans now alongside its partners in the region. And we'll put up here, Ghebreyesus also on Monday said that the WHO has not been able to deliver essential aid and supplies to Tigray because of an ongoing blockade imposed by the Ethiopian government. So here's a short clip from that press conference in which he addressed the ongoing situation in which the WHO has not been able to provide additional humanitarian aid to the people of Tigray.
The base requirement for life-saving intervention is humanitarian access. In Ethiopia, WHO was able to dispatch 14 metric tons of medical supplies to Afar and 70 metric tons to Amhara in December. 2 places have been affected by the conflict. In Tigray, WHO has not been permitted to deliver medical supplies since mid-July of last year. This is despite repeated requests from WHO to provide medical supplies to Tigray region, which would help meet some of the humanitarian and health needs in Tigray. Even in the toughest periods of conflict in Syria, South Sudan, Yemen, and others, WHO and partners have had access to save lives. However, in Tigray, the de facto blockade is preventing access to humanitarian supplies, which is killing people. I urge all leaders and key stakeholders in conflict to remember that those who work for peace are the heroes history remembers. We need health for peace and peace for health. To build trust and save lives, a good starting point is to ensure humanitarian and health corridors are open in all conflict zones so international agencies and civil society groups can do what they do best, save lives.
So that there again is WHO Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus, who himself is Tigrayan, addressing the blockades in Tigray. Monday's recent airstrike also came on the same day that U.S. President Biden called Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to address the ongoing human rights abuses that have continued in Ethiopia, as well as the civilian death toll. We'll put out a press release from the White House. According to this press release, President Biden did express concern about the recent airstrikes and the wave of mass detentions that began under Abiy's declaration of a state of emergency in November. It says here that he also commended Prime Minister Abiy on the recent release of several political prisoners, and that he and Abiy discussed ways to accelerate dialogue toward a negotiated ceasefire, the urgency of improving humanitarian access across Ethiopia, and the need to address the human rights concerns of all affected Ethiopians, including concerns about detentions of Ethiopians under the state of emergency. And that is all that we have for you today. We'll continue to update you on the conflict in Tigray, the OLA's progress, and other recent news in Oromia. Thanks again for watching FNN News, Finfine News Network, and I am your host, Sibel.